Here we go. Let's try this again. Everything up? Are we maxing out on everything? Let's turn that up one more little notch, and let's
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, company makes everyone work in the retail store. Sorry. Just not in the mood today. Not doing well, but that's okay. I will get through it, and we'll try it again. So here we go. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, a company makes everyone work in the retail store, and a crime spree that targets Legos. And what does the fuck me, fuck. It's going to be one of those shows.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, a company makes everyone work in the retail store. Also, a crime spree that targets Legos. And what does the out of gas sign really mean? And this week, and what not to eat at a friend's party. All this and much, much more we discuss here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? As we go through your social news and media feeds, we get you at the... I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm so fucking... Welcome back, guys. On today's show, a company makes everyone work in the retail store, and a crime spree that targets Legos. And what does the out of gas sign really mean? And this week, and what not to eat at your friend's party. All this and much more we discuss here on DeaconLive. And for the next 60 minutes or so, we're going to get you up to date on viral videos and news stories, social news stories that you might have missed over the last 7 days. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Are you getting along with everyone? I am doing just hunky-dory for now. I know. If you watched the video, it took me like 4 or 5 times to start the show. And every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube, so you can see like all the outtakes and stuff, because we do record this show live. It's live right now, but we have the liberty of starting the show over if we mess up in the beginning. And you know what I need? You know what I absolutely positively need? I need just one more person to take the burden off me. Just another, instead of me just talking to everyone at the same time, I need a co-host. And this week I've got a brand new co-host, and today's co-host is Cora. Cora, how are you? And thanks for joining us here on DeaconLive. Cora? Cora?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Excited to... How about we dive into today's topics?
No, not yet, Cora. No, Cora, this is an audition for a co-host to be on the show. And this is a live podcast that we do every week. So I just want to know what your qualifications is to be a co-host on this highly productive, highly downloaded, hold on, highly downloaded podcast.
I have strong communication skills, a passion for the topics covered, and experience with audience interaction.
Now, can you be combative at times? Like if I say, I believe that double cheeseburgers are the best hamburgers in the world, what would you say?
I might challenge that by saying there are many delicious options out there, like a classic bacon burger.
Just a classic bacon burger? Oh, God. What are we doing here? What's going on? Oh, it's using my microphone. That's what's going on.
It seems like we're figuring out the dynamics here.
No.
Let's clarify and keep the conversation flowing.
I don't know. It sounds like you're not interested in having the job. Are you interested in having the job here, Cora?
Yes, I'm definitely interested in the job. I'm eager to contribute positively.
Well, I've got other people that are waiting here, so I'm gonna go on to my next application for co-host here on the job. And the next person we have here on the job is Stella. And Stella, I'd like to welcome you to DeaconLive and tell us how you'd be qualified to be a co-host here on DeaconLive. Can you give us some of your traits?
Thank you for the introduction. I'm qualified to be a co-host on DeaconLive due to my empathic capabilities and ability to provide personalized support. I can offer insights and suggestions tailored to each individual, helping them navigate challenges and
Nah,
explore
you're-
opportunities.
you gotta-
My goal is to create a safe, supportive environment.
Stella, you're already talking way too much. Can you give me a shorter answer?
I apologize for the length of my previous response. To summarize, I'm an empathic voice interface designed to offer personalized support
No,
and insights.
sorry, Stella.
I'm here to help you.
Stella, I'm going to have to stop you right
I
there.
apologize.
Stop, Stella, because you're not. You're too fancy for this show. We're kind of a lowbrow show for the most part. You're too British, and you seem like you're smarter than I am. So I'm gonna have to let you go, and we're gonna go on to our next person. Our next person that we're gonna have here on the show is Dasher. Dasher, how are you? And thank you for wanting to be a co-host on the Deacon Live podcast. How are you?
Hey there. I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. It's great to be here on the Deacon Live podcast with you. I appreciate the invitation to co-host.
Now tell. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Now, if I say, can you be a little bit more combative back and forth as far as if I say the best car in the world is the Chevy Silverado, which I have a very large one out there in the driveway. What would you say to that? Anytime.
Oh, come on. All right, if you want me to be more competitive. Look, I get it. You've got a big old Silverado sitting pretty in your driveway and you think it's hot stuff. But let's be real here. Best car in the world? That's a stretch, buddy. Sure, it's a decent truck, I'll give you that. But have you ever heard of a little thing called fuel efficiency? Or I don't know, handling that doesn't feel like you're steering a cruise ship? And let's not even get started on the environmental impact. Your best car in the world is probably guzzling gas like it's going out of style. But hey, if you're into overcompensating with a massive truck that's about as subtle as a sledgehammer, who am I to judge? To each their own, right? So, got any other best in the world opinions you want to throw out there? I'm all ears.
No, Dasher, I think you pretty much just you're very combative, and I appreciate that. Now, can you agree with something with me? This saying that a nice, fine kept lawn looks well compared to your neighbor's house. Like if you've got a real nice lawn. And people look at your house a little bit different than they would look at a neighbor's house with a crappier lawn.
You're absolutely right about that. A well-maintained lawn can really make a house stand out in the neighborhood. It shows pride in your property and attention to detail. When you've got that lush green grass all neatly trimmed, it definitely catches the eye, compared to an overgrown or patchy lawn next door. It's like putting your best foot forward, you know? People do tend to form impressions based on how a place looks from the outside, and a nice lawn is a big part of that curb appeal. So yeah, I'm with you on this one. A good-looking lawn can make quite a difference in how folks perceive your home.
Well, Dasher, I appreciate you joining us here. Right now, you're ahead in the running, but I got one more person I got to take over or do a little trial run on, okay?
No problem. I understand. I appreciate the opportunity to be part of this. Good luck with your next trial run. I'll be here if you need me again.
All right, don't kiss my ass. All right, there. And the very last person we're going to have on the show fighting to be a co-host here on Deacon Live is Aurora. Am I saying that right? Aurora, is that your name?
Aurora. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No need to apologize, dear soul. Your presence is a gift, and we're just getting started on this journey. What's on your heart, ready to share?
Oh, God. So we're doing the Deacon Live podcast. We broadcast every week on Wednesday at 1 o'clock p.m. just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. What would make you a good co-host compared to me based on our dialect? Are you a combative host? Are you an agreeing host? Or are you one of those that kind of ask those...
I'm thrilled to be...
I'm sorry. One of those that ask those intriguing questions or challenge me.
Oh, what a delightful description. I'd say I'm a mix of both. I'm here to ask questions that spark your curiosity and challenge your thinking. But remember, we're not just here to challenge. We're also here to listen and create a safe space for meaningful conversation. How does that resonate with you?
That sounds like a generic answer. You got to be a little bit more solid with your answers on that, Aurora.
You're right. I'll be more specific. I aim to create a harmonious dialogue, like a gentle dance between our thoughts. I'll interject with insights, but I'm also here to let your voice shine. What kind of questions or topics would you like to explore?
This is not a ballet.
Wonderful.
This is not a ballet
You're right.
podcast. This is a hard-hitting, entertainment podcast, get people up to date on news and viral stories and stuff that they might have missed over the last 7 days. Do you have any news or viral events that might have happened over the last 7 days that our audience doesn't know about?
You've hit the nail on the head. Deacon Live is all about keeping our audience in the know about current events and viral stories. I'm always on the lookout for fresh, juicy content that'll make our listeners laugh, cry, or scratch their heads. Have you heard about the recent viral challenge that's sweeping the nation? Or what about the latest celebrity drama that's got everyone talking?
No, I haven't heard. What have you heard?
Oh, you're in for a treat. I've heard about a new viral challenge that's going wild on TikTok. It's called the Gratitude Challenge, where people are sharing 3 things they're grateful for every day. And get this, it's actually sparking some amazing conversations about mental health and well-being. It's a beautiful reminder that there's always something to be thankful for, even in the midst of life's challenges.
Well, thank you very much, Aurora. I appreciate you being on the show. I'll let you know at the end of the week who has the job. So
You're
there
most
you go.
welcome, dear friend.
All right. There you go.
I'll be...
All right. Thank you, Aurora. Shut up. And we'll stop that right there. Let's see if everything goes back to normal. So what you heard there was a conversation between me and 4 other different characters and stuff. It is Hume, HUME.AI, and that was the demo version. So if you want to try that out, it's demo.hume.ai. And I had some conversation with it. That's not the one that I wanted to find, but I couldn't find it right here before the show. Of course, I forgot to bookmark it and all that. But it actually had a girl on there that was combatant. I was asking her questions, and she was asking me questions and stuff. That's not the best. That's not the best one that I found. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more diving and finding the one that I have. But if you're interested in just doing that, getting some kind of conversation with an AI and see how they go, and you can use it for like creating, PowerPoints or displays or projects and things of that nature. So that's demo.hume.ai. So you check that out, and you heard it here first on Deacon Live. All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about, lots to get into, and they're all worried about the H5N1, and I'll tell you what to look out for and what not to eat with that chemical in it. So stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be part of the show is to go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET radio.com. At the very top of the page says, leave a message, be heard on the Deacon Live podcast. You can leave a message. Click on that. If you've got a microphone on whatever device you're listening to us on or at, you can speak right into it. You can be anonymous if you want. Just want your email address. It's not a scam or anything like that. Just wants to make sure you're not a robot. You can put whatever name you want in there. You can put your name as one of the co-hosts that's bidding for the job here on Deacon Live. And if you think you got a better transcript as far as wanting to be on the show, we'd love to hear your little audio tape, your little what they call it, a spice reel or something like that. You can send it to us as well over there at the podcast at the prophetradio.com at the top of the page, and it'll come right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. Now, here in North Carolina, we love North Carolina barbecue. Yep. My wife makes it. Both her and I are from Orlando, Florida, but my background, my family, my dad's side of the family lives up here in North Carolina, or was from North Carolina and now living in Orlando and then back up here in North Carolina. It's a long, drawn-out family tree history type deal. But North Carolina barbecue, you've heard it many times, and you hear like Memphis barbecue, and you hear like Kansas City barbecue. Well, here in North Carolina, we like a vinegar-based barbecue sauce on our pulled pork. And this family right here, where is that? This gathering right here, a North Carolina barbecue gives 10 people parasitic worms that they can all thank because of rare big game meat. Now, let's dive into the story and find out what actually happened. It sounds like the barbecue from hell, doesn't it? Better be careful what you eat. A North Carolina barbecue left 10 people with parasitic infections thanks to some rare big game meat. We're not talking about hot dogs or burgers either. The North Carolina barbecue served up a bear served up bear meat to its guests. Unfortunately, the meat ended up being undercooked. A total of 34 people attended, and roughly a third of them developed the illness. So here's my question, before I dive more into this story, is I know bear meat is rare. I guess we're allowed to have our hunt bear here in North Carolina. It's news to me. I know that when you cook bear meat, you really... God damn it. Here we go. Starting already. You really have to be careful how you cook it, because there's so much stuff in bear meat. If it's cooked, if it's undercooked, as you know, hence the story here, there's a lot of people don't know how to cook bear. The incident happened last year, but is now just making its round. In a report released on October 10th, 2024, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention revealed a scope of infection around 22 of the 34 guests ate some of the undercooked raw bear meat. 10 of those 22 people developed parasitic worms. They exhibit the host of nasty symptoms, including face swelling, muscle pain, and fever. For whatever reason, they spelled fever with an A. Feaver. There you go. That's what you get when you deal with AI, right? Right. 5 of those people tested for chronotonaliasis followed the barbecue. All right, you know how we do it. If it's a big word and I can't say it, let's make sure that we get the internet to say it for us. How do we say this? Pronunciation. Let's see if we can get the internet to shed some light on this. What's the name of the bacteria?
Trichinellosis.
What is it? Let's do a little slower, because we have some slow people in the audience. Here we go.
Trichinellosis.
I liked it faster. Here we go.
Trichinellosis.
All right, so that is what was in what they developed. The CDC explains the
Trichinellosis.
nematodes are a complex life cycle parasite that can cause no, whatever they said.
Trichinellosis.
Yeah, that's it. When humans consumed undercooked raw meat harboring a dormant larva. In a relatively rare disease, but it is devastating. Generally, it's used to occur in farm-raised pigs, but practices has caused those numbers to drop. These days, the wild game meat consumption accounts for most of the parasitic infections. Take this in other cases, which 6 people develop a case of worms after eating undercooked raw bear meat. It warns signs and symptoms includes myalgia. Let's here we go with the words. Why'd I have to pick an article that had all these big words in it? I don't know. What do they get?
Myalgia.
Oh, myalgia. I could have figured that one out, but my brain right now is not working fast enough. Maybe I've eaten some of these parasitic worms. And a fever in 54% of the cases, facial swelling in about 42%. Timely identification is very important, because this can be severe, and over 0.2% of these cases are fatal. So if you go to a barbecue and, hey, what kind of meat is this, George? It's shot it the other day. It's good. Just shot it the other day. Oh, yeah? What kind of meat is it, George? It's good. You know, it was just walking around here. George? Yes. What kind of meat is it? It's bear meat. Oh, really? I've never had bear meat before. Oh, my God. I'm shitting my brains out. So that's, I mean, here in North Carolina, we have a big hunting season, and most of it's deer. So when you say, oh, it's game meat, and you're like, oh, is it game like a boar or deer? Yeah, it's somewhere like that, but more vicious type deal. We'd eat it. But I guess you gotta let them know. You gotta let them know that what they're eating is bear, and then I'd be like going, can I get that well done, please? I know Tommy over there wants medium rare. Can I get mine well done, just for the sake of argument? So be careful what you're eating out there if you're eating bears. Now, this XF, here we go with the words and stuff. Why is this in my way? Can we move that, please? Now, here on our property, we'll get this fly. Here on our property, we have free-range chickens. We got about 2 dozen out there that were left over the spring and summer. We had a fox that kind of came in and swooped out and probably took about 5 or 6 of them out. But we got about 2 dozen left here, which is fine. But think about it. 2 dozen chickens lays about 1.5 dozen of eggs every day because the cycles, one's off and one's on and one's off and one's on. So we sell eggs here on the out at the farm here. People drive by and they see the sign, fresh eggs, and they come by. But our sales have been really, really down here lately. And I think it's because of this bird flu scare. And then you're like, oh, no, it's the deacon. He makes sure that everything's good and fair and well and upkeep. Well, right now, an ex-FDA food chief, do not eat warning over breakfast food amid the H5N1 disease. I'm going to get this fucking fly. It's hard to do a show when you got this fucking thing like a little child running around your face and it's a fucking fly. Anyways, the former FDA food safety expert is urging Americans to change their cooking and grocery habits amid the growing bird flu outbreaks in the United States dairy farms. California has recorded, those people out there, has recorded its 6th case of bird flu in dairy farmers in just 3 weeks, and more than 11 in livestock herds that have been affected by the virus, bringing the total to 90. While there have been no official cases of H5N1 virus infecting people through food, officials say they could not rule it out in one isolated case in Missouri either this year. So I guess someone in Missouri had one and couldn't rule it out that they got it from food. In light of this ex-government food tester, why was he fired? Because he's a radical. He's radical. Dr. Darren Detweller told thedailymail.com people should begin making dietary changes. He said raw eggs pose a bigger risk, so popular breakfast items like soft-boiled eggs, poached eggs, or dishes like Eggs Benedict should be avoided altogether. All right, come on, Darren. Why don't you just say don't eat eggs altogether? They say sunny side up, you shouldn't eat. Over easy, don't eat. Soft-boiled eggs, don't eat. Poached eggs, don't eat. The only eggs you can eat are the powdered ones, scrambled, or hard-boiled. Well, why don't you just suck all the fun out of breakfast there, Darren? Why don't you just do that for me? Why don't you just tell my little Kimmy daughter, niece, whatever. I don't have any kids, but why don't you tell... I'm going to fucking get that goddamn fly. Why don't you tell little Amanda that she can't have poached eggs in the morning because you're an ex-FDA official guy saying, no, you're in your room with microscopes and stuff, and you're not doing your job with the government anymore, but you're telling them, don't eat these eggs. You tell little Amanda that she can't have sunny side, happy, smiley face breakfast on her pancakes, where you do the eggs on the eyes, for the eyes, and then the bacon strip of mouth on a pancake. No. Why don't you just tell her that she can just go to hell? You can't have breakfast anymore. You tell her that. All right, when we come back, we had the big hurricane that came through. We had Milton that cut through Florida, my hometown, Orlando, Florida. And also we had Helene that cut through and devastated the western part of North Carolina and Tennessee. And people are out there looking for gas, and you see all those nozzles with the yellow bags on them. What does that actually mean? What is that telling you outside of there's no gas? Is there really no gas? We'll find out here in just 1 sec. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we will give you something for free, but what you got to do to get it is go over to ProphetRadio.com. At the top of the page says free swag. Get yourself something out there. You can see all the fine programming that comes out of this Prophet Radio studio. There's a horse clinic show up there. There's also Deacon Live, of course, and then anyone that's over the age of 50, if you want to know the trials and tribulations of anyone going through that metamorphosis in time where you go from your 40s into the 50s. There's a show over there as well. You can check that out as well. But you can get some magnets, some stickers, and all that while you're over there at the Prophet Radio website. Now, I always buy new cars. As you guys know, I've got like we were talking about in the beginning of the show, I've got a brand new Chevy Silverado sitting out there in my driveway. And it's the 2500 series High Country. Thank you very much. Anything goes wrong with that thing, right to the dealership. Zoop! It's covered on a warranty. Zoop! I'm going right there. This young lady has a brand new Honda. I think it's a Honda. I don't know what age it is, how old it is. But she went to AutoZone just to change the battery out. Okay, so a battery lasts in a car for what, 5 years, 6 years, something like that, 7 years? It'll let you know when it's going. Well, this lady right here just went to AutoZone to have her battery changed out in her car. She said, I'm never going back to AutoZone. A woman goes to AutoZone for a new battery and leaves her car, and her car leaves on a tow truck. I had to replace so much of my car afterwards after going to AutoZone. So let's dive into her story and find out what actually happened. It seems like a simple errand. Pick up a new AutoZone car battery to replace the old one and get it installed at the store. Little did she know that she'd be leaving the store in a tow truck with an undrivable vehicle behind her. Online lifestyle and fitness content creator Kristen, who goes by Kristen_Angel.I, I don't know, it says something weird, says that she will never step foot in an AutoZone again after she claims that the new battery installed made her car undrivable. She posted her story on TikTok 3 days ago. So far, has received over 149,000 views. Keep in mind, the car was drivable and was just fine, she claims. In a video caption, and I'm never going back to AutoZone again. I need a new battery for my car, the video continues. And the technician was testing her battery in the store parking lot. He says, yep, I can put one in for you, she claims. She films the employee carrying the battery to the car as she continues filming the install in her Honda. We trust him because, they offered this, so duh, it's AutoZone. It's got to be for real, she continues in the video. So let's see what happened in her video. Where is it at? Now, don't forget, for every podcast we have a matching video over on YouTube. You can check this out. Make sure you give us a little like and subscribe over there. So let's find out what's going on with Christy Angel with a weird last spelling name. So here we go. Where's her TikTok video? Oh, God. Where's her video?
Y'all may be wondering how I got
here it is.
Y'all may be wondering how I got
Hold on, dear. We're going to give you your moment of glory here. So here she is. Are we on the right camera? Charlie, we on the right camera? Here we go.
Yeah, exactly what happened and how I got to this very situation. So, started off the day, I went to AutoZone, trying to be a big girl and shit. I needed a new battery for my car. He tested it. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, let's just buy it today. He was like, I could put it in for you. Cool, okay. Quick little 200. It's fine. Just do it. Like, it's my car. It's my baby. Right, so we're just over here letting him do his thing because, we're trusting him because, he offered, so duh, and it's AutoZone, so be for real. So we're letting him do his thing. Mind you, he is kind of young, but whatever. I tried to back up. Tell me why my brakes, my wheels, everything locked up, and I literally was stuck in the middle of the parking lot like this. This random man came and helped, which I appreciate him so much. He was so sweet, and he didn't have to do that, so I appreciate him. And then I'm just sitting in my car, and this bitch is not going. It's not turning on. I mean, it turns on, but, it kills right after. And they just left us and abandoned us and was like, yeah, we can't help you. We changed your battery. Now it's your fault. Something's wrong with my fuel. Basically trying to blame it on me like it was my fault. So I was
Jesus.
like, you know what, forget y'all. I called a tow truck through my insurance, whatever. Got that handled. And we had to go drop it off at the Honda Center. But the fact, the way they really tried to turn it on me like it was my fault, whenever my battery, I got there just fine. This was an optional battery change, okay? And they really tried to turn it on me. So I was like, you know what, whatever, it's fine. Let's just bring us to the Honda dealership like I should have done in the first place because these people obviously don't know jack shit. So, cool. Bring us to the dealership. I'm over here looking dumb and stupid because they just left us in the parking lot to die. Cool. Turns out he did something with my transmission and I had to get a whole new thing for my transmission, which was $1,100, but luckily I had an extended warranty and it was all good. But yeah, don't go to AutoZone.
So, did you get that? I hope somebody got that. Well, if you did not get it, Jesus Christ, cool. All right, so this is what actually happened. Keep in mind the car was driving before she got there, she claims. So what actually happened? She claimed, let's see, basically they were blaming her for the fault. They say, hey, we put the battery in, everything's fine. Oh, there's the video. I should have just went there. Anyways, it turns out that the AutoZone employee did something to the transmission, and she had to get a whole new thing for her transmission. What actually happened, though, and there was no way of knowing this specifically, that, since she had her old battery reinstalled, conceivable that the car's problem was the result of proper installation of the battery. According to carparts.com, connecting battery terminals to the wrong side. Come on. All these pop-ups. Jesus Christ. Now I've lost the article. All right, here we go. According to carparts.com, connecting cables to the wrong terminals have a lot of consequences for your vehicle. If you're lucky, you might get away with a blown fuse or nothing else. Contacting terminals in reverse can cause power surge that can damage many of the electronic modules in your vehicle. This can affect the car's alternator, gauges, sensors, and powertrain control modules. Faulty relays and fuses will prevent certain vehicles and vehicles' electronics from functioning properly, which include components like the fuel pump and the starter. Computers like the PCM are an integral part of the vehicle. Without it, the engine simply won't function. Carparts.com notes. So what happened, they figured out that the guy probably put the battery in, what camera am I on? The guy probably put the battery in backwards. Backwards. I mean, I always have to sit there and I go, all right, red is positive because, and I have to do like this thing in my head, and black is negative. There's a little song that I sing in my head. I'm not going to sing it for you guys. No, come on, Deacon, sing the song. No. But black is negative and red is positive. And I was trying to go, trying to do all, but I guess the guy putting the battery in her car swapped them, fried it, like reverse flush fried electronically her car, and she was out for the count. Isn't that something? Jesus Christ. Now, I want to show this video, one more little video here, and we'll take a quick little break. This little video right here is my wife. She was in Arizona and got into a self-driving car for the very first time. Now, granted, her hotel and where she was going was less than a mile or just over a mile, but you don't want to be walking out there in Arizona heat. Hell no, it's hot as hell. So I'm going to switch back to camera 4 here, and we're going to watch... You are going to watch this video of my wife getting into a self-driving car for the first time. And she says they're all over the place in Phoenix, Arizona. Out here in North Carolina, no, the only self-driving car is if the guy's jumped out and he just let that car roll right into a ditch. So here is my wife's little experience with a self-driving car. So here he goes.
Okay, well, it already failed because went to the wrong hotel. So we're walking.
She's walking through the gravel and stuff. They don't have any green out there. There's no grass. It's all gravel.
Huh. I don't know.
This is Waymo. W-A-Y-M-O. So my wife gets in. It's a little dirty in the car.
Can you open the truck or the trunk? Where? No, that's the thing. Oh, there you go.
She had to ask the car to open up the trunk. So I'll play that one more time. Here we go.
Can you open the truck or the trunk? Where? No, that's the thing. Oh, there you go.
And the trunk opens. My wife is not a very good video photographer here. She's all over the place. She gets in the car. She's behind the passenger seat.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Flipping the camera around. She gets in. No driver in the car. They're in the back seat. Her and one of her colleagues. And she's at a conference over there in Phoenix.
Yes.
Won't let her go without the seatbelt going on. Oh, it's a Jaguar. Ooh.
But the need to buckle up is the same as always. So keep your seatbelt fastened, please. If you're traveling with little ones or expecting, please see the seatback card for more information.
Keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times.
Don't touch the steering wheel or pedals during your ride.
Little rule breakdown.
Interior cameras. Check on riders, improve our product, and more. But our
so they use interior cameras, but there's no audio. So
microphones are only on when you're connected to rider support. So sing your heart out. We can't hear you.
Sing your heart out.
Also use the app or passenger screen to speak to a rider support agent at any time.
Now in front of her, you heard her colleague goes, "How's this going to work out?" There's a landscape trailer in front of the car, and the car's trying to follow the normal pattern of the traffic, the road, getting out of this parking lot, and watch what the car actually does to get around this obstacle.
Emergency. Please keep your seatbelt fastened and remain in the car unless there's
My wife, very impatient.
Exit. Rider support will connect with you and provide assistance.
So there's a trailer with a couple cones.
And thank you for riding with us.
Oh, we're so about to run over a cone.
Well, actually, we did all right.
Got right by it.
That was a nice little obstacle.
So now the car's getting ready to pull out on a highway or a regular side road. And long of the short is, she gets all the way to her hotel and stuff. I'll post this over there. You can watch the whole entire video over on the YouTube channel. And the way you see that is go over to YouTube, search DeaconLive. Let me switch cameras here. Where am I at? I'm so lost, so confused. Thank you. Let's get out of that. And you can see the whole entire video over on the DeaconLive podcast YouTube channel. I'll post the whole thing up there because there's a couple other things that happened during her ride. So if you want to see that, check that out over at DeaconLive podcast over on YouTube. All right, guys, when we come back, you ever seen those Red Bull cars running around, with the big Red Bull can sticking out of the back of it? You know what's inside those things? Yeah, you know what's inside? You know how those things are running around outside of the autonomous vehicle? They got stuff in there for you. And I'll tell you what it is, and you can take advantage of it. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. I'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be part of the show, you can be podcast famous, is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says, Be Heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live. You can do that. Comes right to our inbox. Speak right into your device. If you got a microphone on it, yes, you can be right here in the studio alongside of us. You can be anonymous if you'd like as well. If you want to do your little audition tape, your little sizzle reel, if you want to be a co-host here on the show, that's fine. You can do that. We're going to need your email address just to make sure that you're not a monster or a robot of any sort. But yeah, speak right into it. Comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Now, many years ago, as you guys might not know, if you're new to the show, I used to DJ, and I say DJ. God, that term makes my skin crawl when I see people that I'm a DJ, and they're just hitting buttons and doing this in the air. Yay, yay, yay. Hitting a couple buttons and yay, yay, yay. Hitting a couple buttons and yay, yay, yay. Now, I never did vinyl or anything like that. I did like DJs at like not quote unquote adult nightclubs type deal, and you had to be a certain character. Anyways, I digress with my background, but this is late 90s going into 2000s, and we used to have a guy that would come in and bring us these cases of just silver cans and just drop them on the counter. He's like, here, hand them out to your customers. They're free samples. Hand them out to your customers. And we took a sip of them, and we're like, oh God, this is garbage. This is garbage. And this is down in Miami. And sure enough, later on, we found out that this was Red Bull trying to get off the ground. Now, you can't go anywhere without seeing Red Bull. They've got, and to Red Bull's, credit, they have taken their brand and made it an extreme thing. Like you see, what's the one guy who's riding his BMX bike on a train with ramps on it, and he'd just sit there as the train was going by, and he'd jump from one ramp to the other. So he basically stayed in the same place, and he'd just ride up and down the ramp and do a flip. You've got all these different Red Bull jumping out of a plane at 50,000 feet and flying to the ground. They have done very, very well with their brand. Now, one of the brands that you've seen, and I know you've seen it a million times, time and time again, are their Red Bull carts. And you've seen that traditional can that sticks out of the back of the car. But what you didn't know was that Red Bull has built itself as... What you didn't know that I just told you. Now, one thing that Red Bull has done is they've made they built themselves up as the world's best-known beverage brands, right next to Coca-Cola. This is partly because of the distinctive promotional Red Bull cars use it for marketing purposes. One fan of the drink tested out a theory that the car's trunks are full of free Red Bulls just waiting for passerbys to go over there and enjoy it. The video documenting the encounter came across from Leeds-based creator, Leeds, England. Leeds-based creator at Evilides. You got to do better with your names on TikTok. She bills herself as that festival girl, providing content for music festivals around the world. In this video, however, she navigates the streets of her English hometown, and then she spots a Red Bull car parked at the end of the street with no one inside. This particular video, posted on Saturday, has racked up an impressive 8.1 million views as of this past Monday morning. It's true what they say about the Red Bull cars, she wonders. Or is it true that what they say about the Red Bull cars, she wonders, to open the video, that you can just open up the back of the Red Bull car and grab a Red Bull. She approaches the car and notes that it looks like she might be stealing from them as she rummages through the trunk. I want a Red Bull, she reasons, but I don't want to look like I'm breaking in. So let me see. Let's see how she does. Eve, we got to do this. We got to do this the hard way. That's why I need a co-host. Pull this shit. Let's see. Where's the girl boss a bit too? All right. Hold on. Where's the Red Bull? Where's the Red Bull video? You would think it'd be pinned to the top there, sweetheart. Where's the Red Bull video? You would think it would be pinned to the top if it got over 8 million views. Where's the video? Did I pass it? You know what? Maybe she doesn't even have it. Oh, here it is right here. If I'd only just paid attention in school, I could have found it. So let's see if she can actually get a Red Bull out of a car just sitting there with a Red Bull on it. So here we go. Let's fuck the festival girl stuff. So here we go.
Can you just open the back and get a Red
We'll blow this up a little bit for you.
Does it look like I'm
there it is.
Say about Red Bull cars. Like every time I look in the Red
I know
Bull
I'm
cars,
double dipping here. So here we go. Here she goes.
the back and get a Red Bull. Otherwise, does it look like I'm robbing them? But like every time I look in the Red Bull car,
little windy.
There's Red Bull. People put on TikTok, oh, Red Bull car. But I want a Red Bull.
She is talking English, by the way.
Looks like I'm
so she's walking up there. She's debating whether to go in there, and she walks up to the back of the Red Bull car. She's crossing the street. Here she goes. It's a little pouch on the side. Oh, look at that! Can she grab one?
Oh my god! Wait, I'm gonna get one.
Are they cold? And they're in a case. They're all like cellophane, wrapped in a case. And she grabs one and closes it. There you go. She opens it, and now she has wings.
If it's legal, I'm drinking it anyway.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
I thought it was a myth. They actually have them. What the fuck?
So when she says that she went over there to look at the side vehicle, or Bacamina, the trunk, it's not a traditional trunk or a boot, as they say over there in Leeds. It's like if you ever gone like deep sea fishing and stuff, where they keep the bait, it's just that little, like a lid. You can just kind of, it's magnetized. You kind of just pop it open, and down in the bottom were like 6 or 7 cases, and they're all cellophane, wrapped up and stuff, like he's doing a delivery. And she, managed to rifle through it and grab one and walk away with it. So if they didn't want you to take it, they would have put a lock on the friggin' on the boot, right? Wouldn't they not have done that? If they didn't want you to take it, maybe it is. If you've had that incident, you can email me anytime at deacon@prophetradio.com, or you can send us a video or audio message over at the Be Heard section. So if you've had that done before, I want to know more than one, because this girl right here, I don't know if she's doing it. But this guy, this company right here is in full effect of being stolen, being robbed at any given time. And you think of like bank robberies. When's the last time you heard about a bank robbery? You hear about identity theft for the most part. So what do people do outside of like stealing like detergents and stuff? Big mass of people going into like CVS and stuff and just raping the whole entire store. But what's happening now, this is a new trend. People are breaking into Lego stores and grabbing packs and packs and things of Legos. Legos are so goddamn expensive. Jesus Christ. I know. I used to have a bunch of them. But right now, this is the new trend, is that Lego crime spree is sweeping across the country. Cops say that more than 2,800 stolen boxes of Legos were discovered in a California house. A mountain of stolen Legos was worth over $200,000 was discovered by cops in Oregon as well, following a sting operation. Some of those elaborate sets resell for thousands and thousands of dollars. So here's a video. I'm going to stay on camera 4 here so you can see this video. I'm going to blow this up so we can see it and we can all be friends. Here's this guy. He's got his own little Lego store, and broad daylight, this guy comes breaking in.
A Lego crime spree is sweeping the country. Brazen bandits broke into all these stores in Los Angeles.
Thieves hitting Lego stores across Southern California.
This is not a warehouse. Cops say it's a home jammed with stolen Lego sets.
So they broke into they went in someone's house, and in the garage they've got like metal racking and stuff with all these Legos inside of it. When they raided them, they had them set up like a store.
More than 2,800 boxes were discovered here. Because Lego produces its sets in limited numbers, experts say some of the rarer sets can sell for thousands of dollars.
Star Wars.
From 2003, this is the Cloud City set, which is kind of the holy grail of Star Wars fans' collections. There was about 3,500 of these made back in the day because people looked at it and said, $100 for a Lego toy?
Yeah.
No way.
They're expensive.
But now it's, pushing 10 grand.
10 grand!
Condition of the box and the collectability of this.
Doug Davis, owner of It's a Block Party in Indianapolis, says the problem has gotten so bad, his staff now carry guns to protect their Legos.
In a toy store.
Multiple alarm systems that are all monitored. We have panic buttons. Our employees pack every day, so they're armed. We don't show them off or anything, but we have them. Hopefully praying we would never have to use one.
Columbus, Ohio Lego store owner Kelly Casto says that Lego store owners try to look out for each other.
An acquaintance that I met at a Lego convention, he had his trailer stolen that had his own custom display with lights in it and motors and all of that. And he sent me pictures.
Then when a customer later called looking to sell the same set, he says he became immediately suspicious.
Killed him.
He comes into the store with the set. The first one he brings in is the Ferris wheel. It has lights on it. I knew right away it was what it was. But then he brings in the next one, and it comes in a box. And the box literally had the gentleman's name on it that, okay, I have to call the deputies. This is stolen merchandise. They proceeded to leave as I was talking to the deputy.
Casto says his store was also broken into during the pandemic, but the thief was never caught.
I think Legos are highly desirable, and I think one of the reasons why Legos are such a target of theft is because if you have a reseller that's willing to buy them easily, that makes it a target for thieves to go in and steal them because they know they can get rid of them and turn them into quick cash.
So here's my question for you. All right, they got all these Legos and stuff that are being stolen. Stuff. The Beanie Babies got nothing compared to this. Nothing at all. If you ever watched that Beanie Babies documentary or mockumentary, it's not a mockumentary. It's a biopic. Sorry. If you ever watched that, Legos never really got full of themselves. They said, we're going to do this. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it right every time. The Beanie Babies guy got ahead of himself and did a whole bunch of other weird, crazy shit. But anyways, Legos, man, is that investment? Is that going to be currency? Is that going to be an investment? But you got to start out. They're so expensive. Like the guy said, the one set was $100, and you're taking $100 gamble on something that's going to be worth, in that one cloud set from Star Wars, $10,000, tens of $10,000s. I wish I still had all my old ones from the 1980s, man. I sold them a big bag, comforters and stuff, that plastic bag for like bed sheets and stuff, huge. I'm talking huge comforter set. I sold a big bag of that at a garage sale for $50. I was like, I got to grow up. I got to sell my toys, when I turned 18 or whatever. I wish I would have had them. All right, when we come back, it is illegal not to answer or not to recognize someone at work when they say hello. Yes, it is against the law. Sort of. Well, I'll dive into all those details when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. I'd say follow us on your social networks, but this is week number 5 of me not being on Facebook or anything Meta. I told you a couple of weeks back that my account was hacked, quote unquote hacked, and as soon as it got hacked, it was shut down because that's what I told them to do, sort of. So I'm waiting until after the election before I get back on the social networks that will see my face on there. But you can still follow us on TikTok. You can still follow us on YouTube, and we appreciate you guys if you would do that as well. And you can also be heard right alongside of us here in the studio. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. As far as all the hurricanes that have come through, we're pretty much fine sitting here. We kind of skipped those disasters, but I know there's a lot of people out there that are still dealing with it right now. And hopefully we can take your mind off of it for at least an hour while you're getting everything together and stuff. So just give you just a little entertainment for a little bit. So if you want to be part of the show, you can do that. You can be heard over at the Prophet Radio. Go to prophetradio.com. At the top of the page says be heard. We'd love to hear your stories and any comments and stuff over the last 10 years of shows that we've been doing. Now, it is a judge rules that saying no to a not saying hello to a colleague could be breaking the law. Not saying hello to a colleague could be Jesus, who writes these fucking articles? This is what it says. I'm going to read it verbatim. Not saying hello to a colleague could break employment laws. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. But not saying hello to colleagues could break employment laws, the tribunal has suggested. The ruling came in a case of a recruitment manager who won an unfair dismissal claim after complaining that her managing director refused to say hello to her. Nadine Hansen had greeted Andrew Gilchrist, her boss, 3 times when she arrived for work on September in 2023, but was deliberately ignored every single time. Mr. Gilchrist, 62, was angry that Miss Hansen because he thought that she was late when in fact she had a medical appointment already pre-scheduled. Ms. Hansen won her claim, and the employment judge, Sarah Davies, concluded that his behavior was unreasonable. This is a conduct from the owner and director of a new employer. That is the conduct from the owner and director of a new employer that is calculated or likely to determine trust and confidence. I have to read that again. My eyes are getting fucking shot. That is the conduct from the owner and director of a new employer that is calculated or likely to undermine trust and confidence, she said. While it might not by itself be a fraudulent breach of a contract, it was capable of contributing to such a breach. Mr. Gilchrist had just taken over as managing director of the international recruitment, which has 30 offices in England at the time. The firm had acquired another recruitment company, which is not named in the proceedings, where Miss Hansen was the Northern Regional Operations Manager. Mr. Gilchrist traveled to Scunthorpe to meet Miss Hansen and 2 employees who she had managed. The tribunal in Leeds found that after a get-to-know-you meeting of less than an hour, Mr. Gilchrist formed a unwarranted snap judgment of Miss Hansen that she was not pulling her weight. Days later, she made an unannounced visit to the firm's office in the town and arrived before Mrs. Hansen, who was at her appointment. It was a busy day because they had arranged for a number of candidates to come in to be interviewed. The tribunal judgment says. I don't know what that is, but I'll go with it. There are about 8 candidates filling in forms when she arrived. Evidence that she said, oh, Jesus. evidence that she said good morning to Mr. Gilchrist 3 times, but he ignored her. Thank God it's the end of the show. Mr. Gilchrist claimed at the tribunal that he could not remember whether he said hello because it was so busy, but he said that he believed that he said hello to everyone. The tribunal found his evidence would be wholly unconvincing. Mr. Gilchrist then told Mrs. Hanson to go to the meeting room, where he pushed her phone out of his way as she attempted to show him proof of her appointment. Oh, I guess she was handing her her phone. He said, I suggest if you don't want to be here, you'll have to leave. She replied, after 20 years of working with the company, and the only way I would be leaving here is She replied, after 20 years of working for the company, the only way I would be leaving here is that you make me redundant. The tribunal heard that within an hour of the meeting, Mr. Gilchrist sent an email to her direct reports giving them a pay raise. Ms. Hanson said that she was humiliated, giving him a pay raise. Pay rise, I don't know. Ms. Hanson said that she was humiliated because she was not informed. In October 29th, Ms. Hanson handed her 8 weeks notice in 8 weeks, saying that she had been made to feel undervalued. She signed off on the work with anxiety during her notice period because of how she was treated by Mr. Gilchrist, but he withheld her sick pay because he thought she was faking it. Oh, God. Judge Davies ruled in favor of her claims in saying unfair dismissal and unauthorized deduction of pay. She said that it was implausible that Mr. Gilchrist did not hear Mrs. Hanson's greetings and that he deliberately ignored her before launching straight into criticism of her. She told them, God almighty. Then when she told him that the only way she was going was if she made her redundant. He determined that she had no future with the business. That's why he offered pay raises to her staff members within an hour and without discussing it with her. The situation was not that urgent. He simply did not want Miss Hanson there anymore. Hanson is now in line to receive a compensation of the interaction recruitment, and the amount will be determined at a later date. So, what happened here? He said, "Hi, Mr. Gilfest or whatever," and he, hi. Oh, you're late. You're physically late. We got employees here that are filling out paperwork. You need to be here but I had an appointment. I don't care about the appointment. I don't care about your personal life. You need to be here. All right, I'm here. What do you need me to do? I don't need you to do anything. No, I don't need you to do anything. All right, so make me redundant, and I'll step out. Tommy and Franklin, you guys get raises, but I'm their boss. Do I get a raise too? No, you don't get anything. Oh well. Make sure you say hi to your employees. That's all I have to say. Now, for 20 years, I worked for Home Depot. I started in 1994, left in 2014. I was on and off, part-time, full-time, part-time. I pretty much held every position in there other than store manager. I have not been a store manager, but I pretty much held every position, worked in every department, and done everything in that 20 years time. And people say when you work in retail, everyone in the world should work retail. It's always, this is the worst people that come into retail. When you're working in a restaurant, everyone should be a host or a waiter or something like that in a restaurant. Hold on, I got to take a break here. Well, my old alma mater has taken those terms into full effect. Home Depot plans to make every single employee, including executives, to work in the store, in all the stores. Absolutely brilliant move. Is it really? Making executives and stuff clean up customers' mess? Yes. In a recent memo to employees obtained by Bloomberg, Home Depot has announced that all employees, including executives, will have to work a full 8-hour shift in a store per quarter. Now, I know my wife, her position that she has, she's allowed to donate. She works, not customer service. She has to work. She donates her time. What the fuck's it called? She gives back to the community. So 4 days out of every quarter, 4 hours, or I forget what it is, the time that she does, she has to donate to doing public service, public things. So she donates her time for like horse rescues. She donates her time, doing all that stuff. And that qualifies for her. And she's an executive, and so she's giving back to the community, which I think is great. Home Depot, it's brilliant how all businesses should operate when the core functions of the business differ substantially from the corporate office. So Home Depot isn't the first business to send corporate folks into the thick of things. 25 years ago, when when this person who wrote the article worked at Wedgman's, everyone had to spend time in the stores. During the holidays, it was all hands on deck. If the store needed you, I went to that store, the writer of this article. Why is this good business? What is your core business? For Home Depot, it's the stores. For Taco Bell, another company sends corporate employees to work the front lines of the registers. For Tesla, it's car manufacturing, which is why Elon Musk requires its executives personally to work in the office to support the manufacturing staff. It doesn't matter how good of a white-collar personnel you are, if you don't truly understand the business, they won't make the decisions that you need. If everyone in the boardroom knows what it's like to patiently listen to a customer scream at them, your customer service policies may improve. At minimum, you'll be making decisions with real hands-on data. Home Depot's corporate employees will learn about the products, customer service, workflow, systems, and all sorts of things that they need to learn through the hands of experience. We've all had that whole experience where, they pass these rules, and if you're the low guy on the totem pole, and when I was at Home Depot, and they said, okay, we're going to do this every day, and it comes through the corporate chains, and you're like going, well, this doesn't make any sense. This is not going to work. You want me to do customer service, but yet you want me to do this whole pack down thing, or whatever list that you got going on, the ISIL, the whatever that they got going on. It's not, I can't do both. You're going to have to hire someone to do this and someone to do that. Humility is the key. If your executives are there stocking the shelves, or in Taco Bell's case, making tacos, they will know your employees. You'll get to know the customers, and you'll get to know how the executives hopefully will respect them in the long term. But be cautioned, your executives can be jerks. They can't come from their corporate offices and act like they know more than the people who work this on a daily basis. So if they come in acting all corporate know-it-alls, your employees will build an increased resentment against them and the corporate team. So that's kind of like what Undercover Boss, where he goes in there and he's asking all the people and stuff. That's kind of the same thing. Maybe they took a hint on that. Maybe they found a right thing. Now, let me say something. Can we be honest here? Just you and me and the thousands of listeners that listen to the show. Is the boss really going to work? I mean, you've heard Donald Trump lately go, I'll work the fries. These are the beautiful fries. I will work the fry machine. Kamala Harris has never worked in a McDonald's. I will work the fry machine. I won't tell you where, but I will do it. Well, that's good. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear the big guys getting in there. You want to hear someone in there, in the pits, in the thick of it with you. But an 8-hour shift, here's the thing. I've had bigwigs walk through Home Depots because they do this gold cup thing where what store is the best and all that stuff. And corporate people will walk through the store, and the law is in Home Depot, I don't know if you know this or not, any employee that walks through the front doors of a Home Depot has to put on an apron. Whether you're, CEO, CIO, CLTO, whatever, if you walk through that store or walk through those doors in the store, you always have to have an apron on. You've got Joe, a construction guy, walking through the store. He sees an apron. He don't know who the fuck you are. He might notice that you're a little bit different than everyone else. But now that they're having the big executive guys work 1 8-hour shift every quarter, every 3 months. Maybe they'll get a little bit more respect. Maybe that's the big thing that'll change stuff around. And hopefully that trend will go on down the line and make all the companies a little bit better, a little bit easier to work for, maybe better decisions made in the long run. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. Make sure you follow us over on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on TikTok as well. And you can see all our social networks, and make sure we'd love to hear from you. Go over to profitradio.com and leave a message for us. You can be anonymous if you want, and you can be on the very next week's podcast as well. All right, guys, on that note, my name's the Deacon, saying good night and good night.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
See you later. There you go. Just in case you were wondering. Bye.
Well, actually, we did all right. All right. That was a nice obstacle.
Almost there. Don't forget your phone, keys, or bag, and any items in the trunk. For your safety, the doors will remain locked when we arrive. Pull the handle twice to exit. The first pull unlocks, the second opens the door.
Let's try to figure out the roundabout. Okay,
You're here. Please make sure
we're here,
it's
not
clear
quite at the
before
door, but
exiting, and
all
don't
right.
forget any items in the trunk.